your lovely live yesterday. Love watching you go live. That was such a good
Thanks.
idea.
It was a good time.
I'll have to give you a tutorial, although it seems like you've mastered it. You seem
I'm
totally
working on it.
yeah, you're
Well, it's
good.
kind of left over from yesterday, and since my hair is curly, it keeps whatever shape it's in all day. So,
Right.
like, this is gonna be my hair till I wash it, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, I feel that. Well, good morning, friends. Happy Sunday. It is time for the Sunday morning brew with your favorite gal pals, Maddie and Elle. And yeah, there was honestly a lot of shit going on yesterday, and we're going to try to get to all of it. And yeah, I was a judge in a margarita contest yesterday. I feel like that's all I have to say. I am like absolutely dead to the world, but in the best way. So if anybody is ever in the Rhode Island area and you're looking for a good margarita, Diego's one, if that gives you anything. Yeah, I really enjoy margaritas.
I have no excuse then. I don't know why I'm so tired.
But now, yeah, now we're switching it up to coffee. I have to grab it. I want to give a shout out to our lovely sponsor, Workout Wipes for Women. 1 second. Bam.
Boom.
Bam.
If you guys didn't see, Maddie made a wonderful video about Wow Wipes.
Yeah.
We have as well. They are absolutely amazing.
It
Honestly, it is a women's product, but guys, if you're stinky,
I feel like guys could absolutely use this. Like, y'all smell, okay?
Yes.
Like, everybody smells after the gym. Sometimes we don't have time for a workout, right, Piper? And we need to use some wipes. So they're enriched with vitamin E, chamomile, hyaluronic acid. They're not going to dry your skin out. It feels really good, honestly. Yeah. They're nice and big. It's like a shower in a little baggie. It's great. It's perfect. So check them out. Workout Wipes for Women. When you go to their website, you're going to get 50% off. And they know what's good. They are the official sponsor of the Sunday Morning Brew. Boom, baby. Okay. So good morning, Chris. Thank you for joining. I think he might be our biggest fan, and I'm here for it. I love it. I don't even know where to begin about what happened yesterday. I feel like it'd be remiss to even start with the fights. I feel like we need to start with Donald Trump.
Yeah, I agree.
How many times is our generation, Elle, going to live through historic moments? Like, it is unreal the amount of historic moments that we have gone through, and it's incredible.
I don't know. I think that every generation wants to be the generation to solve something. And so if we really compare the things that previous generations have gone through to what our generation is experiencing, obviously this is horrible. Like the attempted assassination on a politician is something we haven't seen in a long time. And it's a horrible thing to see. It's sad for our country in general, no matter what your political beliefs or affiliations are. Like, you shouldn't be wishing, the internet has made us brave and has made us really horrible people, to be completely honest.
It has made us so jaded. It's wild.
I can't imagine wanting somebody dead because I disagree with them politically. Like, people, somebody died in the audience at the rally. I don't know if people know that. So maybe that will change the way that people are responding online, because it should, because that's somebody's, family member, that's somebody's loved one that was just an innocent bystander and is gone now. So, but yeah, no, I would much rather be our generation than the generation that had to go through the Great Depression and World War I and World War II. Like, we got it good, guys.
I think every generation has their story, right? To your point. But I think you nailed it in a sense of, I think we need to approach this a lot more delicately than we have been as a community. And I think our community, or our generation of online users, use humor to cope with a lot of things. And I think that's why you see the resurgence of all of these ridiculous memes already. But I do want to get to the meat and potatoes. We do have the latest on everything that went on yesterday. And this was going on at a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania last night. This happened at about 6 p.m. And the suspect was firing from the roof of a building outside the security perimeter and taking aim hundreds of feet away. A 20-year-old Pennsylvania man has been identified. And they are still trying to determine whether he was working alone or not, but he was identified as 20-year-old Thomas Matthew Crooks of Bethel Park. They actually had to use DNA samples to find out his identity because he didn't have any ID on him. One of the bullets struck Trump's right ear, and as you said, Elle, it actually ended up killing somebody behind him. A couple people were injured. This is a very serious thing, guys. Like, this 20-year-old Pennsylvania man, I don't want to make many assumptions, but you can assume he's not mentally well to make a decision like that. And what I am very happy to see is both governmental bodies, Republican, Democrat, whatever you are, they're all coming together and saying how sad this is. You know, nobody used it as a chance to be like, let me put my 2 cents about gun control or whatever.
Right.
We're just simply, this is a really sad moment.
Yeah, and I think that most PR teams would be like, yeah, we're not. This
right.
is not the time if you want people to vote for you. So I don't look at it as like, I don't know. I think it's good. They're making good decisions in how they're handling things. I agree.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really, really tough. If you guys, something I did see is their Info Savages page. If you guys, I don't know, follow him or know anything about him, he had some really great interviews with people on his page that were there at the rally, including a physician who went down and treated the man who was shot. So there's some, if you want like
legit
some eyewitness testimony, yeah, you guys can check out his page.
Yeah,
he did a really good job covering that. But yeah, I agree. It's wild. Like it's just nuts. Like I didn't think. I feel like security is so much tighter at these events now. I'm very curious. Like what happened? You said it was like he wasn't in the rally, right? He was.
No, so I actually I came across when I was looking it up this morning. There is a diagram out there now of the whole setup, and basically, it almost looks like they're in like a high school field. I know that's probably not the building that they were at, but they were in a field. And then a couple of 100 yards away, there was a building that was outside the perimeter that this suspected gunman was found on. So he had like a direct line of sight. So I'm like, how did that possible? But I think I don't want to speak for you, Elle, but I do know that I am not comfortable with getting into politics this morning. I've barely had my cup of coffee. I'm not diving into this person's an asshole, whatever. But
no, that shouldn't be what we're talking about right now anyway.
Like Candace Owens is a ridiculous human at times and just does a lot of clickbaity things. So I can totally understand that. I will say, to your point, Chris, apparently this man was a Republican voter. So it's like you never really know.
Here's the thing, like what does that mean?
Right.
What is what is the how on earth would we have access to any of that?
I know.
Like, at this point, they're still investigating that. So like, guys, stop reading that shit. Like, read police reports. Like this is my issue with all things political. Like if you really want to know what happened, just for God's sakes, read a police report. They're like, you have public access to this. This is why we're in such a polarizing time. Like pray for people
just
who got
run
shot
with it. They run
read
with
police reports.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's all.
John Silva.
Yeah, let's do it, baby. I think we've said enough about the tragedy yesterday. President Trump is saying he is okay, and that is that. We'll probably talk about it again on Tuesday with the Fight Banana Show with Dave Van Auken. So that's good. But last night, crazy fights. I mean, fight in the night goes to Tracy Cortez's eyelash, and then thoughts.
I wasn't ready to say that.
I love you, Tracy. I love it. I love the swagger. Okay,
I
love
know it was short notice, but she didn't have time
girl.
to get her lash extensions done.
Talk about some serious confidence in yourself to be like, no, they'll stay on.
I can't keep strip lashes on.
Bro.
I couldn't keep strip lashes on to go to a college party on a Tuesday night. I
And
can't
those,
imagine
like,
wearing it
I'm
to a
sure
fight.
she's getting some high quality eyelashes, and that's expensive. Like, girl, like, don't be wasting it. You're fighting. Like, damn. But before we even get to the main event, fight of the night, Dober versus Silva. What a fucking war. Silva is a problem.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Your thoughts, Elle, on this?
No, I was one of the people that was counting him out. Like I was shocked to see Drew Dober as an underdog, and not to knock John Silva. I was really impressed with his performance over Charles Jourdain, but he's a featherweight.
Right.
Drew Dober is one of the most
And he just
experienced
fought.
lightweights with the most knockouts.
Right.
Like, and has a chin of steel, which we
Mhm.
saw on
Mhm.
display once again. But like, he is the Crimson Chin. Like that
Right.
dude is
Right. Oh my God.
and so, like, I was just like, man, like, Drew has been in camp. He is acclimated to Colorado altitude very well. That's where he lives and trains. And like the dude's a stud. Like, I was shocked to see him as an underdog, which I do not think any less of Drew Dober after this. This is just a huge testament to how good Sean Silva and the Fighting Nerds team is right now. Like, Crimson Chin.
Just for anybody who doesn't know,
that is Drew Dober, in case you didn't know. Like abs, chin, traps. That's Drew Dober.
Anyway.
My God. But yeah, no, like the John Silva and the Fighting Nerds team are doing some freaking work.
Dude.
Because the dude just fought 2 weeks ago.
Right.
Like,
right.
And had a quick turnaround.
He did not look out of place in that division whatsoever against a very, very game opponent. And I loved like his fight IQ, and the combinations he was throwing were creative, and like
it's the elbows.
I was just about to say
land.
Yeah,
they're devastating.
Right. And he's not just throwing them willy-nilly. Like I feel like a lot of people use elbows as a last-ditch effort. Maybe you're down and you're like, oh, let me just whip an elbow real quick. But he's like using them in a very calculated way.
Yeah.
And when you can figure out how to do that, I mean, look at the damage it does. It's crazy. What I'm not a fan of, cut the bullshit with like the let's be friends shit, like in between rounds, and like
if it wasn't that fight, I might agree with you. But when you have a war like that and you cut a man like that and he's still standing there and he's a guy who's as nice as Drew Dober, no, we can hug. I'm down for that.
Like, okay, the hug's fine, but like, how about the 20,000 other times where he was like, let's shake hands, like, yeah, guys, look at us, we're fucking killing it.
Maddie just wants to fight people, guys.
That's true. It's been a hot second, but it's just like, I don't know. I'm just not a fan of that. And like I was always the type of person that I was like, okay, we'll touch gloves on round 1 and that's it. You're not getting a glove touch in round 2. You're not getting a glove touch in round 3. Maybe we'll probably hug after and we can be friends after. It was like,
I'm a glove I'm a glove touch when we're talking to the ref.
Yeah.
No glove touch when we're coming out of the corner.
Exactly.
And then solid handshake after
exactly
the fight. But I've also never had a war like that. Thank God.
I guess a war is a little different. Yeah. But it's like mid-fight. Like
the hug I was cool with. Like 2 rounds of absolute devastation in Drew Dober's face and he's still smiling. Like that, give that man a hug. He
honestly, I was gonna be, that was such a good fight, but I was gonna be upset if they didn't call the fight and let him keep fighting after the fact they called the fight for Moira Buena Silva when her cut was not nearly as bad. You know what I mean? Like I would have been very upset if like they called her fight, but they didn't call Drew Dober's fight. Like that would have been like,
they knew we wanted to watch this fight more.
I know.
No, I agree. And it was one of the worst cuts I've ever seen. The stitch job was solid. Did you see his picture? Like,
oh no, I didn't.
Of him after, like,
well, just the fact that they
managed solid job on that stitch work.
Just the fact that they managed to have it stop bleeding to make the fight official, like when they were like raising each, like
how much Vaseline do you think that took,
dude?
Like
wild.
massive.
Yeah, I think his whole eyebrow is probably gone. I don't know if he can be a model anymore. Shake hands and hug after the fight. Yep, totally here for that. And then the Aspinall mid-fight hug would throw me off. Yeah, for sure. Like, it would throw
He's
me
just
off.
trying to get underhooks, guys.
Yeah, for real. Like, he's just trying
That's what
to
I'm
get
going to
one
start
up.
doing. I'm going to pretend to hug my opponents, be like, wrestle.
I know, seriously. Speaking of elbows, your thoughts on the elbow situation with Brundage and Alassane?
How do I say this without
And the Oscar goes to.
Yeah.
That's my comment.
As soon as I knew that that there was an illegal shot in question at all, I was like, oh, Brundage is gonna quit.
Yeah.
That's my immediate thought when
Yeah.
he fights, like, and I'll be honest, like the clean elbows, the legal elbows probably did daze him.
Yeah, for
The
sure.
one that
Oh,
was
for sure.
actually illegal, barely.
Yeah.
Like, he was fine from that, but I could see him being dazed from the other elbows because he was definitely close to being TKO'd.
I totally agree. I think a lot of those elbows were legal, but where the ref was standing, it's always hard, their angle. I'm not gonna act like I could ever be a ref.
One of them was illegal, and
For sure.
he should have warned him for that one, and
which was right and perfect.
Which is the right call. We just know that if there is a chance for him to, like what Chris said, Brundage wanted out. Like,
yeah, he was definitely rocked already, and he saw his opportunity to not get an L on his record, I think. And
well, yeah, especially I don't really know if they would cut him or not, to be completely honest, if he took a loss. He's been very up and down. He's one of those guys that's been on a couple, wins a couple, goes on a big losing streak, so they might have cut him if he lost. So I'm sure that you got to keep your job. Like, I get that, but
I'm sure they're not happy with him right now, though. That's for sure.
It's hard because he's not the one who threw the illegal strike. Like, it's kind of a 50-50. Like,
yeah, who knows?
You can kind of argue that he did the right thing.
I'm just glad that we're on the same page, that he yupped it up just a little bit. Just,
He also might have just been super half unconscious from the legal elbows, to be honest.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Right, exactly. Good one from Sean here. Clearly see him at the end saying, "I can't go. You fouled me." I mean, come on, bro. Be a man. No, I'm just kidding. Trying to call an intentional foul. Yeah. I mean, I think we say this all the time. Like, I would never want to be a ref. Ever.
No,
like,
so hard. And in the moment, but like what Chris is saying, like, you also have to deal with action variance, because like, if I'm smart and I'm the defensive fighter there and you're elbowing me, I'm going to be turning my head trying to make it an illegal blow, not necessarily to end the fight, but to keep you from continuing.
Right. And maybe get like a restart of some sort.
just make you switch to something else.
Right.
Like, that's the right defense to do if you're still trying to wrestle too. Like, that's the right thing to do, So you have all these action variances, like if you elbow me in the back of the head because I'm
right.
It's hard,
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit different than like eye pokes and low blows. I think those are I think those should be fewer and far between.
So that aside, though, like, I think there was a lot of fun exchanges last night. Like, there was a lot of elbows, uppercuts. Like, I feel like uppercuts is such an undervalued strike, and people are starting to figure it out. Like, Silva obviously had his great uppercut knockout. I think there was another one last night that was an uppercut knockout. Knees. Like, it was just a really fun, I thought it was a pretty good card last night.
Underrated card for sure.
So, like, such a sleeper card. Yeah. Elle, love the term action variance. Yes. Feel free to steal.
Today.
Yeah. Okay, main event. Rose, Tracy.
It's a lot more exciting than I thought it was going to be.
Me
I actually stayed up for it. I thought I was going to go to bed.
I will not. I'm going to be blatantly honest with you. I fell asleep for the co-main. Yeah. I think I saw like 2 rounds of it.
You should go back and watch it, because I genuinely want to know. I did not give Muslim Salikov a single round.
Really?
And I need to know if I am insane. because
Okay.
I did not like it was a close fight. It wasn't that close.
Okay. All
Unless
right.
I'm nuts.
I'll go back and watch it for our Tuesday show.
Please.
Stay
Because I'm like,
tuned.
I was in shock. And so was
Okay.
Grant. Like I did
Okay.
not
I'll
think
have to go back and watch it.
like maybe the second because he hurt him,
Mm.
but like he got out wrestled, outstruck.
Okay.
I'm shook over that.
All
So
right. I gotta go back and watch it. You
I
sold
need to
me.
know if I'm nuts. I was pretty tired, but I
Yeah.
still watched the whole fight. Like I
That's
wasn't
funny.
distracted, but
So yeah, the main event, a lot more exciting than I anticipated. It's funny because like when they walked out and I'm like watching their energy and everything, I almost had this feeling where I was like, oh, this might be Tracy's night. Like she's like, I don't know, it seems like in a good mindset, whatever. But then as soon as the fight started, Rose was looking so fast and like the movement was there. You could tell she was fluid and just like, I was like, oh, she's got it in the bag. Like her striking, I thought looked so great last night. I just wanted her to finish, like just finish it.
she could have in the first round. If
God
she hadn't gone
damn.
down with her, I think it would have been she would have finished it.
Yeah.
'Cause she would have
Yeah.
like slowed down for a minute and then tried to get up and then gotten dropped right away. I think.
Right.
But
Yeah.
she let her recover. And
Ugh.
I'll be honest, like that was I felt like I actually saw Rose slow down a little in 4 and 5, which is very
I would agree.
uncharacteristic of her.
I would
And
agree.
I know that Tracy kind of put on the volume more so than she usually does. So like maybe she just wasn't expecting as high volume of a fight, but she's preparing for Macy Barber, who's a very high output fighter.
Well, I think I don't. I see what you're saying. I think she did slow down, but I think she just did a
She still
good
looked
job of.
great.
I think she just did a good job of nullifying Tracy. So like anytime Tracy was starting to feel comfortable, she would just like grab her up, take her down, whatever, like push her to the cage.
And at the end, I felt like Tracy was having good moments that
The
she
fifth
didn't
round,
need to have. That
the
Rose
fifth
was
round,
almost like stopping in front of her.
right,
And then
right,
like Tracy would land a combination. I was like, oh, and then Rose would be like, oh shit, okay, like I need to
right.
get going again.
No,
And then she
totally
would take
agree.
over. Like she still won almost every minute of the fight. I just
Right.
felt like I don't know. I feel like she was a little.
She
She
let
just didn't
Tracy
have that twitch as much in
Yes.
rounds 4 and 5. You know,
Yeah, she was letting Tracy have these big moments, and it's like
she didn't
why?
need to. Like I feel
No.
like she had the range, and like round 1, Rose was like cutting really well, making her miss.
Her jab is
turn
so
super
fast. Oh
well.
my god, her cross is so fast. I think this is an awesome learning opportunity for Tracy. Like it sucks to lose for sure, but like, you know, you got a championship level opponent. You're just going to collect that data and move on from it. Like I like Tracy's style of fighting, but she got herself in trouble last night with it. She's switching stances dry, like
Yeah.
constantly.
And
it's
right
like
in front,
right
like right
in
in the
front.
danger zone.
Like you can't just switch your stance for no reason, really. Like you have to like put something there to distract and like I was waiting for Rose to pick up on that and just like clock her and just drop her. I mean, she kind of did once, but yeah, I think this is just a huge learning opportunity for Tracy. And
She doesn't lose anything.
yeah.
You know, like you
I mean,
said,
I
she
guess
doesn't lose
what do you
anything.
do next for Tracy? Like that's like I don't
Oh,
even
there's
know.
so many. Honestly,
I was looking at the rankings and I'm like, okay. Well, first I thought Casey O'Neill, but Casey actually has a fight coming up.
yeah, and honestly, I think Tracy's past that, far past that at this point.
Do you give Tracy somebody ahead of her?
No, not off of. Well, you could off a loss. It just would have to be somebody else also off a loss.
Lost,
Hang on, let me pull up the rankings real quick.
Yeah.
But like I just if you look at how she wasn't setting up her wrestling, and I think that's gonna give her some trouble later. She had 1 or 2 good shots.
Yeah.
Like, she really set it up. There's one that was just kind of off Rose's hook, and she like came under the hook really nicely. I think that might have been the one time she took her down. But
yeah, it
really
was like either striking.
Like
yeah, it was like either striking or it was wrestling. Like it was like not together. You know who's just coming off a loss? Amanda Ribas.
I was literally
Rose
about
Namajunas.
to say Hebus is perfect. That's the perfect matchup.
Yeah,
for both of them.
And I think that'd be a super fun fight too.
Yeah,
that would be a little scrappy dappy fight. And then does Rose wait for Macy?
Probably not, man. I feel so bad for Macy, but like I think she's gonna be out a while.
Your thoughts on her being there last night? I'm curious.
Why not? I mean, why not? Like, it's not like she pulled out for any like illegitimate reason. Like, just
Yeah.
because you're dealing with health problems, that doesn't mean you can't go places. Like,
That's true. That's true.
this is going back
She
to
doesn't
just
even
people
go
on the
here.
internet getting upset for no reason, you know?
Yeah. She doesn't even go here.
Like, how dare she leave her house while she's recovering from an illness? Like,
I know. But it just, I don't know. It kind of reminds me of, it's like, okay, like, how do I explain this? It's like you call out of school because you're not feeling well, but then you still go to the football
it's
game
not
that
like she
night.
had the flu. She had
I
like
know.
she's in the hospital, Maddie. Jesus Christ.
No, listen, I don't mind. I didn't mind. I'm just
You
going off
sure?
of no, I seriously like I didn't even think twice about it. I'm thinking of like all the stuff I was seeing online last night and people like giving her shit for it. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
those people
huh.
suck.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, that's totally fair.
and I'm
And
not
like,
like I'm not coming to Macy's defense because I like know her. I'm just like
yeah, like just
if,
shut
if
up.
this was
Yeah.
anybody, like she's not supposed to leave her house for until she's cleared to fight again. Is that what you're saying? Like she's not.
Yes.
Like what if she had got what if she's diagnosed with cancer? Would you say the same thing? Like obviously she shouldn't be fighting, but it's not like you can't go out in public. Like
I love it. I love it.
You are horrible.
All right. So,
yeah, there was a comment I want to go back to.
okay.
Dawson. Dude,
Oh.
Jazz looked awesome.
Yeah.
I'm like, why don't you wrestle everybody like this?
I know. She was so dangerous.
If you're a woman that can wrestle at all, wrestle in your fights because you are levels above people. And Jasmine is a damn good wrestler.
I know. And
Such
it's
good
crazy because
control.
like when I think of Jasmine, I think of Striker. And
You
then
shouldn't, because that girl can freaking wrestle.
I was like, holy shit. Like she was like reversing stuff and just like completely dominant. Just total dominant performance. She's 15 right now. I don't think she's gonna be 15 for long, for sure.
Yeah. No.
I mean, I'm excited to watch her rise. I really am.
I almost want to watch her fight Tracy again. No, I know it's not like we just saw it, so it's like they should fight other people for a little bit. But
Yeah.
I just feel like the Tracy fight was not Jasmine's best performance. Like
Correct.
it was one of the worst performances I've seen her have.
Yeah.
And it was still a really close fight. I feel like if she had fought her differently, I think she might have smashed Tracy. Like I really would like to see her get that one back eventually, you know, because I think she's better than what she
again.
did.
They'll see each other again for sure. It's just a matter of time.
I saw this too, and which doesn't make any sense to me right now. Like she's fighting for the belt. She's fighting Grasso. So it's like, so do you want a title shot off?
Right. Like what do you want?
11 person?
Yeah. Like what do you want?
Do you want the loser of the title fight? Which, like, I guess I could see that. If Furo loses to Grasso, I guess that could make sense because she's what? She's like she's 2
Rose?
and Rose is 6.
Yep.
Let's just watch Rose and Jessica Andrade fight each other 3 more times. I love that.
I'm all set. I'm all set. But yeah, I don't know. It's
I don't know what makes sense. Maybe
to be
Aaron.
honest, I would
honestly
love,
maybe Aaron.
I was just gonna say that
because Aaron's coming off the loss to Furo.
Yeah.
They both just lost to Furo. Like
honestly, I think that would be a good fight. I think
that'd
that
be like
that
a
would be
title
top.
eliminator.
Yeah,
you know?
I dig that. But honestly, I'm kind of on the team of I kind of want Rose to get a BMF title before she gets a title shot.
Why?
She meant because she
think Rose is the girl that should fight for a BMF when we have girls like Jessica Andrade in the UFC.
I know. Well, she mentioned it last night in her post fight, and I was like,
she mentions a lot of things.
I know.
You can't have like the BMFs of the world have never had fights like Rose versus Carla Esparza. Those fights are nowhere on there.
Good point. Oh,
there's no Justin Gaethje fight where he came out.
Okay, so to back that up, who would you give it to? Who should be the women BMF champs, or at least fighting?
Andrade is number 1.
Okay. I mean, Valentina for
Marina
me.
Rodriguez would be
okay.
Like that girl slings. Like she's there to
Let
do
me
some
look at the
damage.
straw weight. I mean, Wiley is a fucking savage. And
Yeah,
then
I just Wei Li and Joanna. If
right.
Joanna came out of retirement, she
Well,
deserves
what
that.
about Andrade and Wiley?
I would watch that.
Fuck, I would watch that for sure. BMF champ, let's go.
I will always watch Jessica Andrade fight. Like whether she's on a tear or a 3-fight losing streak, like I'm always tuning in. Jessica Andrade will probably always be my favorite female fighter to watch.
Oh my gosh, I did not know that.
Well, I'm trying to be Jessica Andrade. I'm trying to be a tank.
Let's go.
Overhands wrestling.
I love that.
No, I don't. Rose shouldn't get to fight for a BMF title. Like she should not be in this conversation.
Yeah.
The best fight, the only exciting fights that Rose has been in have been because of who she was fighting.
Correct.
Really.
They bring it out of her.
And I'm not saying like Rose didn't win those fights.
Yeah.
But she's not like when we talk about BMF, we're talking about Max Holloway and Justin Gaethje.
Yeah.
Like the most exciting fighters that we just tune in for. Andrade and Joanna is an amazing matchup for that. I 100% agree. Remember Joanna and Wei Li?
Dude.
Like the best female fight.
And that goes down as the best female fight of all time. I'm telling you right now.
Like that honestly was the BMF. We just didn't know it at the time.
Right. We just didn't have that yet. Oh my God. So true.
I agree, Sean. Fatima Klein is a very talented fighter. She took a chance, short notice to get into the UFC, which I always respect. And she was way smaller, but she did well. Like she honestly did. She didn't get finished. She had some moments. Like I agree. I'm interested to see her at strawweight. I think she's really talented kid.
Yeah. Well, it was an all around great card last night. Did we miss anything? I think that was the gist of it. If we missed anything, make sure you tune in Tuesday to the Fight Banana show because Dave Van Auken always needs to put his 2 cents into the mix, and we love it.
How dare he?
Yes, we love him.
How dare Dave come on the David Van Auken show?
Yeah, how dare he? What is this? And then obviously we got to talk about, this coming weekend. We got another great card coming our way. UFC 304 is on the horizon. A lot of great stuff coming up. I can't wait for UFC Noche. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
And then,
In this year, that's going to be wild.
I still can't wrap my brain around like how they're going to do that. But yeah, it's going to be wild. But I think that's it, Elle. Half an hour of good shit right there. The coffee is in me and flowing, and I'm ready to go to the beach or something. I'm
ready to go to the bathroom. But yeah, guys, thank you for tuning in. Remember, don't be an asshole online. There's an asshole human being on the other side of that screen.
And hey, Chris, thank you for reminding us. Monday night, Boxing Bananas, Brandon Davis, Elvin Brito, and Curtis Blaze. Woo! Let's go. At almost every weeknight or almost every night or day, you can find a show on the Fight Bananas pages. So make sure you're telling your friends and your friends' friends to download Fight Bananas wherever they are. So big shout out again to Workout Wipes for Women. We love you. And I think I need to make one more cup of coffee. But we will see you on Tuesday, baby. Fight Bananas podcast. And as always, thank you for joining. Have a great day.